Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about an interesting utility. Recently, I had a requirement to uh, prepare a JSON from a huge JSON file for some static data to be used in my app. The idea was to have a reduced version of a huge JSON file and use it as a static input to the app. The main problem, I could have solved it by using a parser, like take the whole JSON and just fetch all the values that we have. The main problem was the JSON was so huge, so we want to make it a bit optimized. So I looked for what are the options where I can prepare this, because doing it manually was a cumbersome task. Then I found this site, JSON Editor Online. It had an interesting feature called filter, where in which you can filter, sort or transform your JSON data into another JSON data, which was really useful. And this site used something called JMESPath, which is a query language for JSON file. This is pretty useful. It has libraries for multiple languages available here, and they have a quite nice documentation on how to use, how the queries look like, um, and how you can filter data, etc. and all, which was really handy for me. So I'm going to just show like how to use this site to do a filter, and how to use the JMES language to show its power. For that, I am just using this API, restcountries.eu, which the JSON is pretty huge, which has lots of data. As you can see, name, alpha code, capital, region, sub-region, population, lots of information are there. Let's say we want only few of those information. How we can do it very easily? So click on the filter button here, and if your JSON is an array of objects, then you will get the wizard which help you to frame the query. Else you have to write the query manually. So let's start with that. Let's say I want to filter the countries by area, and area greater than, let's say, 1000. You can see the query gets auto populated over here. Then sort by capital, order, let's say descending, or let's say put ascending. So now you can see it will show a small snapshot of the data, how your selection affects the original JSON. And you can also choose what all fields that you want. So if you click on this drop down, you can get all the possible fields. Let me select quite a few. Okay, now I have selected quite a number of properties. Now you can see this JSON an object reduced quite a lot, so you get only the information that you need. Now if you click OK, the original JSON will get updated and you will get a shorter version very easily. That was really fast. Now what if you want to do some more additional things, like let's say for example I want to get all countries where the region is Asia. How do you do that? So to do that, so you see this is one of the filter condition. So you can add another condition by doing and then region. So region should be the exact name in the original JSON, equal to, let's put Asia. So now you can see the JSON now filters with region Asia. Now that is one way. Now what if you want just an or condition? Change this to or. That's it. This becomes an or condition. So it will be like area greater than 1000 or region equal to Asia. Cool, right? Now coming to the data that we choose, how this is being structured. So you can see like alpha 2 code, alpha 2 code. So this on the left hand side is the key for the new JSON. Let's say for example, let me change this to this. So you can see that our new JSON will have this value of the key. But the right hand side should be the key from the original JSON. So then only it will pick the value properly. So the left hand side you can put any name, which is like your transformed object. Okay. Now coming to the calling codes. Calling codes, you can see it is an array. Let's say we want to simplify it. We have decided, okay, as a static information, we want the first value. Then it's really simple. You go and put square brackets and take the first value. Now you can see your JSON is further simplified. You remove all the additional complexities and you can get a shorter version of it. Cool. The next thing is, what if you want to fetch all the countries where the region falls in Asia and Europe? That's pretty tricky. So how I did that was use the contains function. So JMESPath has lots of functions. One of the function is contains. You have many of the functions like count, max, all these things, but I use contains over here. You can find more of that in the documentation, like there are quite a lot. So I'm going to use this contains function. Let's see how we do that. Okay, so instead of region directly checking, I just used contains, then bracket. Inside that you need to provide an array of values, which is like Asia and Europe I gave, and you need to tell, okay, which field it should compare, region. So now if you see, right, you could see, yeah, Europe as well as Asia present here. Yeah, so like these are just very what is a commonly used functions or commonly used filters. That's why those are the things which I have tried, but the specification has a lot more to do, but most of your needs would be sufficed by this. And if you have if your JSON is not an array of objects, don't worry, you can still write the query language like this and it works. I can just show you one example. When you are using the wizard, one more thing you need to be very careful. If you have modified your query and if you try to modify any of things over here, the whole thing that you manually modified get resetted. So make sure if you are going to do any changes after you wrote something here, keep a copy of what you have written so that you don't need to redo it again. Okay, let's say for example, I just took a sample JSON from here. You can see it is not an array of objects. You have fields over here. So if you use that and try to filter, you see wizard is not available for objects, only for array. And so how do we do that? So you can, let's say I want page and only data where the ID is greater than 1. How do we do that? So the query would look like this. So you take the page, then you take the data, then you apply the condition for the data, then you get the page and just the data, then you can filter it out. And say if you want per page also, this doesn't matter, so per underscore page. So you can see you also got the per page. So that's all That's all I want to uh, tell. It's a pretty useful tool. As I understand, it is a really nice utility. So if you have a big JSON and you want to transform the data or something, uh, do give it a try. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.